I used to lose sleep over a $20 payment from a friend. Now I understand why that was destroying both of us. Let me tell you about the moment everything changed for me. I was sitting in my kitchen staring at a Venmo notification. $15. From someone I'd known for years. We'd shared meals together, talked late into the night about our dreams, supported each other through breakups and job losses. And now they were paying me for work I'd done. My stomach twisted into knots. I almost sent the money back. My finger hovered over the refund button. Because somehow, in my mind, accepting that $15 would change everything between us. It would make me greedy. It would make me one of those people who puts profit over friendship. It would mean I didn't really care about them. But here's what I didn't understand back then. That guilt? It was actually hurting both of us more than any transaction ever could. For me, making a living has always meant one simple thing: paying my bills by doing work I actually enjoy. The kind of work I'd probably keep doing even if I had some boring office job where I shuffled papers from 9 to 5. It's not revolutionary, it's not complicated, but for the longest time it felt impossible to do without carrying this heavy weight of shame. A lot of people I know live this way too. Some of my friends give bodywork, helping people release tension they've been holding in their shoulders for years. Some cook incredible meals that make you remember why food matters. Some build tiny homes with their own hands, creating spaces where people can actually afford to live. Some shape clay into bowls and cups that you want to hold every morning when you drink your coffee. None of us are getting rich. We're just trying to exist while doing things that feel meaningful. But here's where it gets complicated. Most of the time, the people who pay me are also my friends. That used to make me deeply uncomfortable. Like I said, I felt terrible taking money from people I cared about, especially when I knew they were struggling too. When I knew they were choosing between paying me and buying groceries. When I knew every dollar mattered to them just as much as it mattered to me. I would lie awake at night, running calculations in my head. Should I have charged less? Should I have just done it for free? Was I exploiting our friendship? Was I becoming the kind of person I never wanted to be? These days, that feeling has shifted dramatically. And it wasn't because I suddenly stopped caring about my friends or became more selfish. It was because reality hit me hard enough that I couldn't ignore it anymore. Many of them manage their rent just fine now. They have stable jobs, apartments they can afford, maybe even some savings tucked away. Meanwhile, I'm the one falling behind. I'm the one getting late notices. I'm the one trying to figure out which bill to skip this month so I can eat. The power dynamic I'd imagined in my head was completely backwards, so the guilt doesn't hit as hard anymore. When someone who makes twice what I make pays me for 3 hours of work, I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of them. I feel like we're engaged in a fair exchange. They have money. I have skills and time and energy. We trade. Nobody gets hurt, but still, it's worth talking about this guilt, especially in spaces where alternative work and business are supposed to mean something better than the conventional world, where we're supposed to be building something different, something more ethical, something more human. Because here's the thing, much of my guilt stems from this deep belief that money itself is fundamentally bad, that it corrupts everything it touches, that if you care about money at all, you're somehow spiritually bankrupt. I've never fully understood that belief, but I absorbed it anyway. It was in the air I breathed in certain communities. It was in the way people talked about selling out with such disgust. It was in the unspoken rules about who was pure and who wasn't. But when I actually look at the world, I don't see money as the root of all evil. I see greed and power games showing up everywhere. In small towns where everyone knows each other, in big cities with millions of strangers, in old trading systems where people bartered goods, in modern economies built on digital transactions, in spiritual communities that claim to be above material concerns. Humans have been competing for resources and status since long before coins existed. We've been lying and cheating and exploiting each other through every economic system we've ever invented. The problem isn't the tool. The problem is how we use it. We're always hunting for someone or something to blame for the world's problems, and money is an incredibly easy target. It's tangible, it's measurable, it's right there in front of us. But money is just a tool, a medium of exchange, a way to store value and transfer it across time and space. Used well, it helps things move. It allows artists to create without starving. It allows teachers to share knowledge without burning out. It allows healers to help people without sacrificing their own well-being. Money doesn't have to be the ultimate prize we're all fighting over. It can just be the thing that makes the work possible. A teacher I once followed used to say something that stuck with me. He said, money works best when it helps ideas travel, when it acts as a vehicle for things that actually matter. And when you look at it that way, the equation changes completely. What really matters, according to him, are three things. First, what you're trying to share with the world. Is it valuable? Does it help people? Does it make things better? Second, how honestly and skillfully you share it. Are you being authentic? Are you actually good at what you do? Are you treating people with respect? And third, having enough money to make it possible, to keep going, to reach more people, to not collapse from exhaustion after 6 months. Money doesn't have to say anything about your value as a person. It doesn't have to be a measure of your worth or your goodness or your spiritual evolution. It can simply reflect the time, effort, and care you put into your work. It can be the thing that allows you to keep doing that work tomorrow. This changed everything for me. Suddenly, charging money wasn't about greed. It was about sustainability. It was about being able to show up again next week. It was about not burning myself out, trying to give everything away for free until I had nothing left. I've also struggled with another belief I see all the time in creative and spiritual circles. This idea that living on as little money as possible is somehow more pure, more authentic, more real. That if you need more than a few $1,000s a year, you've gotten soft. You've lost touch with what matters. You've become part of the problem. I don't believe that anymore, and honestly, I think that belief causes tremendous harm. Earning more than poverty wages doesn't mean you've sold out or stopped caring about the world. It doesn't mean you've abandoned your values or betrayed your community. Human suffering runs so much deeper than someone taking a flight to a place like Santa Fe once in a while. The real issues we face aren't caused by creative people trying to make a living wage. They're caused by massive systemic problems that require equally massive systemic solutions. Starving yourself won't fix them. Making yourself miserable won't fix them. Daniel used to talk about this concept that really resonated with me. He said we need to move away from fighting over small slices of a shrinking pie, and instead focus on building something bigger together. Not grabbing as much as you can for yourself at everyone else's expense, but growing systems and structures that actually benefit people and communities alike. Real change doesn't come only from politics or social media posts or catchy slogans. It also stems from how we work, how we trade, and how we support one another in our daily lives. From the actual relationships and exchanges we engage in every single day. If I'm completely honest, the strongest guilt I feel still comes from being in business at all. When I think of business, I picture slick talkers who care more about their sales numbers than about people. I picture cheats who cut corners and lie about their products. I picture fake cures sold from the back of a cart by someone who'll be gone before anyone realizes they've been scammed. But business doesn't have to look like that. It really doesn't. It can be thoughtful, it can be kind, it can be careful and considered, and rooted in genuine care for the people you serve. Business can actually be one of the clearest places to create fair, human ways of exchanging value that exist outside of family obligation and friendship dynamics. Think about it. When you do work for a friend for free, there's an implied debt, an unspoken expectation that they'll somehow pay you back in the future, even if neither of you articulates it. But when you charge a fair price for good work, you both walk away clean. The exchange is complete. Nobody owes anybody anything. Through our work, through business, we can bring new ideas into the world. Cleaner energy systems that don't destroy the planet. Better ways to listen and heal that actually address people's pain. Tools and technologies that genuinely help people live better lives instead of just extracting their data and attention. Work can bring us back to simple values and fundamental needs. The things people quietly want and need, but don't always know how to ask for. Connection, beauty, function, care, attention to detail. Something made with thought instead of just churned out on an assembly line. Yes, it involves risk. Running your own thing, doing work that matters to you, choosing to operate outside traditional structures. All of that is risky. There's no guarantee of a steady paycheck, no benefits package, no retirement plan unless you build it yourself. But risk is part of choosing a life that feels alive. It's the cost of not sleepwalking through decades of work you hate. It's what you accept when you decide that meaning matters more than security. And here's what I've learned. The guilt doesn't serve anyone. Not me, not the people I work with, not the community I'm part of. When I undercharge out of guilt, I can't sustain my work. When I can't sustain my work, I disappear. When I disappear, nobody benefits. The kindest thing I can do is charge fairly, show up consistently, and keep offering something valuable to the world. That's not greed. That's responsibility. That's actually the most generous path available to me. So if you're reading this and you felt that same guilt, that nagging voice telling you you're bad for wanting to be paid fairly for your work, I want you to know something. That voice is lying to you. You deserve to pay your bills. You deserve to eat good food. You deserve to not be stressed about money every single day. And the world needs you to stick around long enough to share whatever gift you have to offer. That won't happen if you're constantly running on empty, feeling guilty about every dollar that comes your way. Thank you for being here.